So CNN finally hosted a town hall for Bernie Sanders, and it was a freight train. This guy came in with some amazing answers, and I want to show you guys his response to the first question, which was, how do you intend to defeat Donald Trump? Now, Bernie Sanders' response to this question was nearly flawless, and there were so many aspects and facets of this answer that I want to share with you guys. It's just so well constructed. First off, though, I want to show you guys the intro to the town hall, and then I'm going to show you guys his response to this question. So let's take a look at the intro first. When's the last time you've ever seen a town hall with Amy Klobuchar or Kamala Harris that starts with chanting Amy, Amy, or Kamala, Kamala? Like, this is the first town hall I've ever seen where they begin the town hall with chanting Bernie. Guys, this guy's coming in with like a freight train. This guy is just going to absolutely demolish this election. Like, he is going to, and this is a bold prediction, I believe he is going to win at least 40 states. I know that's absolutely crazy, but I think this is going to be the biggest blue wave you've ever seen. This guy is essentially the modern day FDR. Now, I want to show you guys the first question and his response. I want you to pay very careful attention. Maybe take notes, see what you guys notice, and I'm going to share with you all the things that I noticed. There's just so much detail. Let's take a look.
All right, so Senator, this is your second time running. You know the rules. You've done this before. Are you ready?
I am ready. Are
Let's
you ready?
Let's
Let's
let's get started. We have a questioner.
There's a delay here. I don't know why, but get over it.
This is an unusual election, and unfortunately, we can't focus only on the issues. We must get President Trump out of the White House before he does any more damage. If you are the Democratic nominee, how will you defeat him? And if you are not the nominee, what will you do to help the nominee defeat him?
Well, let me just say two things. Number one, I hope and believe that every Democratic candidate will come together after the nominee is selected and make certain that Donald Trump is not reelected president of the United States. And I pledge certainly to do that. I hope I'm the nominee, but if I am not, I will work with that nominee.
Good
Trump
answer.
has got to be defeated. And I'll tell you why. It's not only that we have a president who wanted to throw 32 million people off of the health care they had after promising that he would provide health care to everybody. It's not just a president who said he'd have a tax plan to benefit the middle class, but 83% of the benefits go to the 1%. I'll tell you, it's not just a president who said to the working class of this country, I am on your side. I'm not going to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And then he came forward with a budget, $1 trillion cut to Medicaid, $500 billion to Medicare, and $72 billion to the Social Security Disability Fund. But there's something even deeper. This president is the first president in the modern history of our country who is trying to divide our people up based on the color of their skin, the country they were born in, their sexual orientation, their gender, their religion. And that is an outrage. Our job is to bring our people together, not to divide them up. That's why Mr. Trump must be defeated.
What an amazing answer. Like, when I saw this live, I thought to myself, wow, there are a lot of details in here that are incredibly politically advantageous to Bernie Sanders. But every single time I watch that answer, I find something unique about this answer that is politically advantageous to Bernie Sanders. There's no doubt in my mind that statement was like scripted. Like, if that came off of the top of, this is kind of the thing I'm trying to debate. Was that a well-crafted response that was already constructed before this town hall? I actually don't know, because almost every one of his responses is at a level that, just to me, I've never seen any other candidate meet that. So let me explain the three aspects that I have noticed about that response that makes it so perfect. So the first one is that it is so much of an antithesis to Donald Trump. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Donald Trump has a slogan going into 2020. His slogan is promises made, promises kept. Now, here's the thing. Donald Trump likely won, like one of the reasons why he won at least, was because he had this awesome slogan that was very meaningful to the American people. Make America great again. And Americans, especially American workers who were not making really good salaries, which is like almost everyone here, they looked at that message and they're like, yeah, let's, it was great in like the 50s, the 60s. What happened? I feel poor. And this is the richest nation in the world, really? And so his slogan was so impactful. And Bernie Sanders is trying to now attack the slogan of promises made, promises kept. So if you want to get at Donald Trump supporters, the best way to do that is to show that the very slogan that Trump is running on, the very message that Trump is holding on to, is completely broken. And so the way he does that is he says, here are all the things that Donald Trump promised. And then throughout the last 4 years, he has broken every one of those promises. And so I'm like, yeah, that's a great way of attacking that slogan. Great way of attacking Trump is to take his entire theme and totally throw it on the ground underneath the bus. Like, perfect. And then on top of that, the second aspect of this response is that every aspect that Bernie Sanders attacks about Donald Trump matters to Americans. So he talks about healthcare, tax cuts, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. I mean, you've basically talked about every economic issue that is important to the American people in one response. I couldn't do that if I tried. If I tried to sit down and come up with a 1 minute response to this question, how to defeat Donald Trump, I could not embed that much information into my response if I tried. So, well done. I'm going to go through the substance that he gave in a second here. But the third aspect of his response that was incredible was that it was incredibly coherent and diverse. So not only was he attacking the economic side of Trump, but he was also attacking the social aspect of Donald Trump. He ended, I don't know if you guys noticed, he ended his response with, but also Trump is trying to divide America. We must come together. And yes, this is slightly Hillary Clinton-esque, but it's not America's already great, so we just got to come together kind of a message. It's America is broken, we got to come together. And there's racial division, there's social division, ethnic division, right? There's all of these divisive things about Donald Trump that we have to defeat. And so just all in like a minute, all of that in 1 minute. What a perfect response. And honestly, guys, I can't tell whether or not this response was scripted, because this entire town hall is reflective of that kind of quality of response. And I'm gonna post a bunch of videos on all the different types of responses that Bernie Sanders gave, because they're just so perfect. It was so good. And I know I'm just like absolutely, I feel like I'm just praising him way too much, but guys, he deserves it. This guy is so good for the Democratic nominee, because if you notice all the other messages from all the other Democratic candidates, including Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Amy Klobuchar, Joe Biden hasn't announced his running bid yet, but if he does, I mean, you can hear his center message around all the speeches that he's given. All of their messages has been, we got to attack Trump because he is so dangerous to our democracy and he is so divisive. Like, they'll focus on the social aspect because they are all essentially neoliberals, which, if you're not familiar with what neoliberal is, a neoliberal is a liberal who believes in Republican economics. So very capitalist, corporatist view of economic policy. And so Bernie Sanders comes in with a what he says is democratic socialist agenda, which what he really means is social democratic agenda, where, you know, it's not about complete anarcho-capitalism and corporatism. It's about a democratic economic system. Just Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, they come out and they just say, yeah, we got to focus on the social issues. But we tried this with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton ran on social justice. She was the social justice warrior, right? And did that work? No, absolutely not, because Americans don't necessarily care on a day-to-day basis about racial injustice. And I hate to say this, but even black people, even Hispanics, like you name the minority, the issues that they're concerned about on a day-to-day basis is not the racial injustice. It's not the, and that's not to say that those aren't issues. They are very, very important issues, but to run off of those issues greatly undervalues the real issues that these people are facing, which is economic injustice. And so you have to focus on both social justice and economic justice. And Bernie Sanders included both of those things in his answer as to why he should defeat Donald Trump. What a perfect response. Bravo to this guy. I hope he wins.